Hello everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about the most common mistake that usually most of the developers do and how we can actually rectify that mistake. So this is the architectural diagram that I have drawn to give you the brief understanding of what happens behind the scene. We will come back to this diagram once we are done with the implementation and understanding of the mistake that we do and how we can actually rectify that. We'll come back to this diagram again. So let's go to our Salesforce org at first, and we'll take a scenario as usual to implement the logic, and in that way only we can actually encounter what mistake we are doing and how we can rectify it. So let's open any of the account record. So our scenario will be like, if any contact is created or updated and its degree is PhD, so there is a field called degree which contains certain values like BTech, HS, Polytech, and PhD. So if the degree is PhD, then this title field will be automatically populated with a value called DR dot, which is nothing but doctor. We want to resemble those people having degree as PhD with a doctor symbol. So this should be automatically populated. So we are going to automate this via trigger. This is a very simple scenario. It need not to be a real-time business scenario because we have to implement a logic via Apex trigger. So we are taking this scenario. So let's go to our developer console, and I have already written a trigger on contact. We just have to implement that logic. So, as we know, the best practices says that if we want to update the S object on whom the trigger is written, then we should use the before event. So, in our case also, we need to update the title field of contact object, and the trigger should be on contact itself because this scenario will be implemented only when a contact is created or updated. So in our cases, both the triggering point is contact and the record which we want to update is also contact. So we will use the before event. This is the basic understanding of when should we use before and after. And as you know, insert, this is for before insert whenever record is inserted, and update is whenever a record is updated. Okay, so I hope this is clear why we are using before event here, because the triggering point and the record we want to update is both same. I mean same object. So let's implement our logic. First of all, what we will do is we will iterate over the newly inserted or updated contacts, and then check what is the degree of it and assign the title value appropriately. So add a for loop over here, create the contact object, and iterate over the trigger.new. This will return with a trigger.new is nothing but the list of new records, new contacts. Let's put an if condition. So we'll check what is the degree of that contact. Let's first save this and then place an if condition. Okay, let's see the what is the degree field here. Okay, here it is. This is the name of that field. Degree is equals to PhD. I hope this is the actual name of that value. Let's check from here only. Okay, it is PhD. P capital, H small, and D capital. Okay, so this is the condition that we have to put, and based on that, we just need to assign the title. If it is PhD, then assign the title as DR dot. This is the simple logic. Now, what usually developers do is they will create a list of contact variable here. This is what now I'm writing is the mistake that we usually developers do. Contact list to update, because we have been always told that we should add the records into a list first and then update it after the loop. So if we follow that situation, then what we will do is we'll just create a list, add that record into that list which we want to update, and after the iteration is done outside the for loop, just write the update and the name of that list. But here is the catch. This logic looks very good. It will all the code will also be saved, but this is not the correct way. I will tell you what is wrong here. So first of all, let's understand this is a before event. Okay, so the before event means the contact record which has been newly created or updated is not committed into the database yet. It is on the way. If you see this contact we just created or updated has these properties: name this, type is primary, and degree is PhD. It is going towards the database, but it is not yet committed. So in such a situation, when it is not committed into the database yet, then why do we want to make another explicit update over here? Why are we updating that same record once again, even if it is not committed into the database? So we can simply remove these update elements, remove this addition of record into a list, remove that entire list only. So just iterate over those new records, check your condition, and simply assign the value whatever you want to assign. Simply assign it. Let's save this. See, I'm not using any explicit update command. I'm just assigning a value into a variable. If we go to contact records, let's open this one. And currently the degree is selected as none. Let's select first BTech. So title should have nothing in it. See, title is still empty. Now let's update the degree to PhD now. Again our trigger will fire and it will check the condition what is the degree. If it is PhD, then it will populate the title value. See, it has come to dr dot. Now you will be wondering, even if I haven't used the update command to update that record, why is it taking the new value? This is the power of before event. Like if I say go back to the diagram again, see this record was having these properties already when I updated, or this is what I'm sending from the UI perspective. When I'm updating the record, this all properties I'm sending. So it was not committed into the database till now. What am I doing is in the trigger, in the before event trigger, I'm checking all these properties and then assigning a value. Let's say I'm assigning a additional property here. Title equals to dr. So this value will be carried forward. Whatever I'm assigning here in the trigger, this will be carried forward, and once it is actually getting committed into the database, after everything trigger has run and everything, then this will carry my value, updated value, also into the database. So it's a one time commit. I hope that is clear, that when you update a record and it is not committed into the database and you are assigning additional value into it. So first of all, you are assigning degree value from the UI, and additional title value is getting assigned from the trigger here. So we are just giving an additional value. Hey, if you are going towards the database, then take my this value as well to be committed. So this is the power of before event. You don't have to make an explicit update command